big news update for you guys. I've got some updates and rumors around Cardano potentially being used for the government treasury and potentially having that all on chain. I'll also look at the Djed stablecoin, Cardano and Bitcoin, what's going on there, updates from the Cardano Foundation, various projects in the ecosystem as well, something around Iagon at the moment. This is pretty exciting. And also an update around Cardano's governance, where we're at the moment. More people are delegating to DREPs and more people are signing up as DREPs as well. It's pretty exciting. And lastly, I have some updates around our own staple ADAOZ and our own project CardanoPress. Lots of exciting stuff coming right up. Now, don't forget, on your way in, make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll keep you guys up to date with everything that's happening in the space. But this first news update here around the US government considering using blockchain to increase efficiency and transparency is potentially something really good for the Cardano ecosystem. Cardano is built for this. This is one of the prime usages for the Cardano blockchain. And tying this in with identity solutions from IMX, from Hyperledger Identitas, all these identity solutions could potentially make it a prime candidate for voting platforms within the US government, using it for recording everything that goes through the government, the Treasury there in the US. I think it is really, really good. Now, there are other rumors with Charles potentially meeting someone extremely influential by the end of the month. He's been talking with Elon Musk. We know he's been at SpaceX. We know that Charles is wanting to jump into the government space and start being a advisor to various politicians. So it could be something really important here that could have a massive impact to the chain and to the broader crypto space as well. So something is happening. Hopefully we'll hear more about this by the end of the month. But whatever it is, we know it is something really big. This next news update about Charles being a part of the crypto task force, I think is something that the whole industry could really benefit from. Charles is definitely a talker. He's the type of person that can get in front of the Senate and talk to the legislators very clearly and easily and try and educate them about cryptocurrency, blockchain, and all the tech that is being built here in the industry. And having someone like that, I think, is really key. And it's not just benefiting Cardano. Of course, Charles will put Cardano up front first and to explain its technological advantages. But for bringing clarity to the entire industry, to the regulators, to everything that we need as an industry as a whole to move forward, I think is really important. And having Charles in this position would be absolutely awesome. So this is just a rumor again at the moment, but hopefully we do hear a little bit more about this crypto task force and Charles being put onto that crypto task force to help with the SEC bring that clarity to the industry. So fingers crossed. There's a lot of key players in this industry at the moment, and Charles is definitely one of them. Now, with the Wyoming stablecoin, I did talk about that in my last episode. Do check out that episode. Links in the top right-hand corner for you guys. But Charles also announced that he'll be part of a new pact. Or maybe he's starting it. I think he might be starting this one. But this is the Wyoming Integrity Political Action Committee. And from its name, you can tell it's all about integrity. This committee would look at the integrity of how and what decisions are being made. And this is from this post here, to support changes to the state's procurement policy in the way it selects existing cryptocurrencies will be used to build its own stablecoin. Now, this all comes back to the fact that Cardano was excluded from the process. It wasn't just Cardano, it was other top tier blockchains that could have been used as well. I think XRP Ripple was another one. But making sure that the state understands and has a better foundation to make these decisions, I think is really important. So hence he's creating this pack to actually push through some changes there to make it a bit more of a level playing field for all the blockchains and other people within the ecosystem. So this is a good thing for Cardano. I don't know if he's actually formed this yet or if he's pushed forward, but late last year he was talking about entering into the political space a lot more as an advisor to all the senators and whatnot. So this is another big move for the crypto industry, but definitely for the Cardano ecosystem. Now, this I thought was a really interesting post, and this was by Cardano Land, and this person suggested renaming Djed to something like Djed USD or DUSD to attract more retail users. And I have to say that would make really good sense, because someone that just reads Djed or Djed or Djed, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't actually say what it is. I named my YouTube channel Learn Cardano because that's exactly what it is. You want to learn about Cardano. Having this name change here to Djed USD or DUSD makes sense as well. It just spells it out for the average user. Oh, okay, it's a stablecoin. It's a USD stablecoin. Gotcha. Makes sense. We know in the industry, in the Cardano space, that Djed is very complicated. It's algorithmic. It's over-collateralized algorithmic stablecoin, and it has the Shen part of it as well. So it's got that reserved currency. So it's got a lot of complexities there and lots of ways and opportunities for users and the Cardano ecosystem to make yield off of it. But the average user doesn't know that. And I think this name change is going to do absolutely wonders for Djed if people realized exactly what it was. We may see more exchange listings. We may see all sorts of things. But I think this is a really good move. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Djed should have a name change to something a little bit more suitable and spells out exactly what it is? This other post here about Djed having a major advantage over other USD-backed stablecoins I thought was quite interesting. And we tend to forget these things because Djed has been around for over 2 years now, I think. I can't remember exact launch date. But using ADA from the Cardano Treasury to mint Djed would provide liquidity in the Djed USD while keeping that ADA locked up. There would be no need to sell the ADA on the market to actually create that USD. So you're not going to an exchange selling your ADA for the USD. You can just go to the conversion portal, lock up that ADA into the smart contracts and get that stablecoin back. And that ADA is still earning yield within the ecosystem and is staked into various stake pools. So this is really good. And, we do forget this type of thing. Now, there's also improvements and upgrades to Djed. So the Gluon is the next evolution of that. And the Djed Alliance is constantly working with various blockchains to spread its implementation to different ecosystems. So there's a lot of things happening in the background here. And I think Djed is a really prime candidate to be one of the really good stablecoins in the ecosystem. It does have the most liquidity at the moment from last time I checked. So this name change to Djed USD or DUSD and then providing treasury funds to it could potentially make it a really dominant player in the Cardano space and further with exchange listings and so on. So I'm keeping an eye on this one here. I do use a mix of stablecoins in the Cardano space. I use USDM and Djed as my primary stablecoin holdings. And I think this one here with this name change and using treasury funds to lock up more ADA might be a good move. Again, let me know what you guys think down below. Now, this news update here I thought was really interesting. And it's the way that stablecoins work and how they earn yield and where that yield goes to. So anytime you mint USDC, USDT, or even USDM and A, you get your USD fiat currency and you lock it into their platforms. That gives Circle, Tether, Moneta the ability to loan out that USD. So now they can earn yield off that and use that yield for their operating costs, purchasing more USD, locking it up in different ecosystems, etc. So it gives them all that power because they're gaining the actual USD currency, giving you the tokenized version so you can do whatever you want, but then they can loan that out just like a bank does with fractional lending and earn yield off of that. So this is the big clincher here, and this is how they earn their revenue. Now the thing here, this brand new one that has been launched recently, and I've just been looking into it, and this is the new one from BitGo, and this flips that yield-bearing asset on its head and gives that yield back to the people that are actually holding those assets, such as the exchanges. So now the exchanges will be earning more revenue for using a particular stablecoin like USDS. So this is going to be big, and it may very well make these other stablecoins, USDC, USDT, USDM, USDA, Djed, whatever, go obsolete because of this change of revenue. The exchanges will support whatever is making them the most money, and this new one here from BitGo could be the new player. Let me play you this clip here. This is probably something really important to watch.
I actually think it's really interesting, and let me lay out the reason why. And I actually think it will, whether or not BitGo's stablecoin is going to be the successful one. I don't know that, because there's all these things. You need a good go-to-market strategy, a good BD team, all this kind of stuff. But it's going to put pressure on the market for other stablecoins. So let me lay out the three types of stablecoins. Right now, there are stablecoins that keep all of the yield for themselves. That's most of the stablecoins. They make the money, they keep all the yield for themselves. And by the way, USDC passing yield onto users via Coinbase is not USDC passing on the yield. That is a Coinbase rewards pool. That is so.
That's like it shows up in their P&L as something else.
USDC gets keeps all the yield for themselves, and then they can figure out what them and Coinbase can figure out the rewards pool, and they obviously split the money with Coinbase. Okay, so that's bucket number one. Bucket number three is our stablecoins that pass on the yield directly to users. The problem with that is a security. Right. So,
and Jeremy said that in the podcast.
Yeah, that is a security. So then it's like, okay, well, what is the solution here? What USDS, which is BitGo's stablecoin, is doing is they are not passing the yield to the user. They're not keeping the yield for themselves. They're actually passing the yield onto the holder of whoever's holding the stablecoin, which is most likely the exchange. So they're basically, let's say a stablecoin can earn 5% today. They're only keeping 10 bips for themselves, and then they're passing on 4.9% to the exchange, and then telling the exchange, this is your yield. You go do what you want with it. You keep the 4.9%, or you pass on 2.5% to users, you keep 2.4 for yourself. You split it amongst different people. Like, it is on them. And I actually think it's a really, really, really good model. And I think people are going to either adopt something like USDS, or the stablecoins are going to have to pivot to figure out this. Because here's what I would imagine happens right now. And this is I'm all theorizing stuff right now.
All conjecture, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. If I was an exchange, here's what I would do right now. I'd pick up the phone and I'd be like, hey, Jeremy. Hey, Mr. Allaire. I'm sitting on $3 billion of USDC. Give me some of that yield. And if I'm Jeremy.
How about right fucking now?
Yeah, right fucking now. And if I'm Jeremy, guess what I'm saying? How about no? And then if I'm the exchange, I'm saying, I need that yield right now. And if I'm Jeremy, I say no. And then they go back and forth. And then finally, Jeremy says, you know what? You're a nice guy. You're holding $3 billion of USDC. I appreciate your exchange onboarding and offboarding us and pushing it to your market makers and stuff like that. I'll give you some of the yield. I'll give you 1%. And I want you to strike a certain deal with Circle. And if I'm the exchange, I'm like, well, frick, I don't really have any other options. So then what I'm going to do
until now.
Right now. And what I would do is whenever the market forces your hand, it's a build versus buy conversation. So you can either I think, and in this case, it's like you could actually use something in the market, which is something like USDS, or you could go build your own stablecoin. So I think what's about to happen is two things. Calling my prediction here. One, we're going to see about 100 new stablecoins launch. We're going to see the custodians launch stablecoins. We're going to see the exchanges launch stablecoins. We're going to see fintechs like Robinhood launch stablecoins. I just saw today Visa is helping BBVA launch a stablecoin. We're going to see the banks launch stablecoins. Everybody and their mother is going to launch a stablecoin. That's the first thing that's going to happen. The second thing that's going to happen is the stablecoins, their hands are going to be forced, and they're going to need to figure out how to give yield back to the users. And the way that they're going to do that is not by giving yield directly to the users, but by giving it to the people, probably the exchanges who are sitting on the yield. And that is why BitGo's stablecoin, which didn't get that much attention, I actually think has all of these downstream impacts on the industry that I think people should pay attention to.
So as you can see, there's a lot of incentives for the exchanges there that can give the yield back to the users that are on the exchange and holding those particular assets, and that would attract more users. And we have a look at the comments down here. Pierre here mentions Spike Finance, Ondo Finance, and Hashnote Labs are doing something very similar, and their stablecoins are doing really well, attracting users to those particular stablecoin offerings. Now, when USDM launched like last year, I can't remember the launch dates, people kept on asking me in the comments saying, why should I mint USDM? What yield do I get from it for minting it? And there isn't any yield. That onus was kind of put on to the DEXs that were holding it. The DEXs can do yield farming rewards with other projects or whatever it is. And I didn't find that offering very strong because you can mint USDC on other exchanges and earn a little bit of a percentage yield off that, like 2 or 1.5%, 2%, whatever it was. It's not much, but it's more than what USDM were offering. So that was the incentive there. And that is where users are going to be attracted to. If they know they can have a fiat-backed stablecoin, whether it's over collateralized or one-to-one, that earns them yield that is better than their banks and gives them the flexibility to move that asset anywhere in the world quickly and easily and trade for other things, I think that is the biggest selling point here. And with more exchanges, centralized exchanges that would support that type of stablecoin, I think it's really, really key. And I really do think it will make these other stablecoins obsolete. USDT absolutely dominates at the moment. It has the biggest reach anywhere with the most amount of liquidity. USDC also a high amount of reach, but they're also MiCA compliant, and they're the only one of these big players that can operate in Europe. So they're the key things that we need to look at here. So USDM is also MiCA compliant. Their yield returns is essentially non-existent. So if they could change that USDM and give yield to the users that mint it, give them more opportunities, I think that is a really appealing offering that will get them listed on centralized exchanges and everywhere else. Same with Djed and USDA. I don't know if there's any potential there to change things to make it more appealing, but if we do, we could see Cardano stablecoins dominate just as USDS from BitGo at the moment is starting to really, really gain reach. Let me know what you guys think down below. This is pretty exciting stuff. I'm going to have a look deeper into Spike Finance, Ondo, and Hashnote Labs to see where they're going and their growth of their ecosystems, what type of yield offerings they offer, and see how they're going at the moment. I'll keep an eye on this one here. And if we could potentially get changes to what Cardano stablecoins offer, we could potentially see a lot more reach and need to jump on this quickly before these other projects just dominate the space. But this is an exciting one, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing what our stablecoin ecosystem will be in 2025. All the links and everything for this down below for you. One of the really big narratives in 2024 was around Bitcoin and Cardano, combining the two chains and making Cardano the smart contract layer for the Bitcoin ecosystem was really, really appealing. Now that is still going at the moment. Bitcoin OS is still building, and they've developed a couple of new things. I will talk about that when more news comes out about it. But Charles has mentioned they're working on Lightning Hydra. So this is the Lightning Network, the L2 for Bitcoin, and integrating that with Hydra, the L2 for Cardano. Having those two integrated together allows them to talk and move those assets back and forth. Now, Hydra was essentially a replica of Lightning with tweaks and changes to it, so it would work with Cardano and work in a slightly different way. But essentially, you could integrate those two together, have that Hydra head talk to a Lightning node, and transfer value and funds back and forth that way. So this is a really good integration, and I'm kind of excited about this one. I didn't think about this one here. I didn't think it would come to light, but this is a good thing. I'll leave the links to this video down below. You can watch a little bit about what Charles is talking about in regards to Lightning and Hydra. Now, this is an exciting update from the Tokyo guys. This is now live on both iOS and Android. the ability to send and receive Bitcoin, runes, ordinals, and access runes and BTC charts all within the single app. So if you're an avid Cardano fan and also Bitcoin, which I am, they're the two that I look at the most, Tokyo is now the wallet for it. This is really cool. So I absolutely love the wallet. I've been a supporter of their platform from the very early days of testing. I tested it, absolutely loved it from day one. Do check out the video tutorials around the Tokyo wallet on my other channel. It's a really good wallet to use, especially if you're getting into Cardano for the first time. Anyway, big thumbs up to the Tokyo guys. Awesome work. Keep it up. The Cardano Foundation have been really a lot more public in regards to what they're doing. So they're being a lot more transparent, posting on a more regular basis. And even Frederick is being a lot more transparent, is taken the build-in public approach, just as Patrick from NMaker has. And wherever he is, whatever he's doing, he's posting and talking about it. Is of course, now I know in the comments, I've seen your comments, everyone. You're saying, why can't we just know what he's doing exactly in detail? Why can't we know what Circle want? Why can't we just ask Frederick to spill all the beans? Well, they can't. There's NDAs. There's business agreements between these high-level exchanges, these high-level companies, and the various blockchains that they're working with. And each one of these blockchains will have a slightly different deal. One will be paying more, one will be paying less. Circle will be gaining certain things from each one of those chains. And you can't make that public because they're competitive in nature. So Frederick can't tell us exactly why, but he can allude to it and give us clues, and at least some of the people can decipher it in the Cardano space. But this here is good. These updates are absolutely awesome here. So he had a meeting with UAE-based exchange, the M2 Crypto X. Now, I haven't heard of these guys. This link isn't working, but I'll look into this one a little bit more. But they're looking into the deeper integration of Cardano, the Cardano native assets as well, using governance and everything else that has been built for the Cardano space and putting it potentially into that particular exchange. So this is really good stuff. So hopefully we see a little bit more information about this soon, and hopefully there is a partnership that comes out of this, and this exchange here does follow through and onboard Cardano assets, and we see these Cardano native assets also list. That's a really key thing. That's what we're looking for at the moment. We need Cardano assets such as USDM, such as the big players, Iagon, etc., all listed on these exchanges natively. The other really exciting thing that's happening at the moment is all the L2 ecosystems that are growing on Cardano at the moment. Let's scroll down there here and have a look. We've got Hydra, which many of us know about. We have IBC, the inter-blockchain communication. That's growing at the moment. There's a lot of work in the Cardano Foundation around that. We have Midgard, which I'm really excited about. I've seen more updates from the Midgard team at the moment. And we also have Sky Protocol. I did an interview with them late last year about their platform and their data availability for the chain. So this is a really exciting one that we should keep our eyes on as well. There's a lot of things happening in the L2 space at the moment. The L1 is constantly improving and growing, and we'll see a lot more speed improvements out of that. But definitely here with the L2 side of things, and also the purpose-built blockchains for dApps, we're going to see a lot of improvements here. So 2025 is going to be an exciting year for the L2s in the Cardano space. Now, while Frederick was over in the UAE, he had a meeting or a catch-up with Lena from Clay Nation. Clays were always one of those big projects I absolutely loved. They did a fantastic job of putting together these digital assets for the Cardano Summit last year. But they had a catch-up in the UAE to talk through various things that they could potentially work on to take Cardano to the next level. So I'm pretty excited about this one here. Got to check out their new site. Look at it here, clayhouse.io. Links down below if you haven't checked out any of that yet. Another update from the foundation here is around their streamlining of voting for Catalyst. So this is just a reminder for people that the foundation is voting in Project Catalyst now. For those that don't know, Project Catalyst is like a Shark Tank within the Cardano space. But the foundation can use their, I think it was 180 million ADA to vote on which proposals could potentially get through. And that had a massive impact within the previous fund, where a lot of their votes pushed those various projects to the top and got those projects funded. So you kind of want to be on the good side of the foundation here if you want your project to succeed through these funding rounds. So this is quite an important thing. But this post here talked about the efficiency and how they change their voting keys to make it a lot easier for them to vote within the next round. Now, the foundation managed 9 different wallets because they delegate their ADA to various different state pools to support them within the ecosystem. But the way that Catalyst works, you need to register each one of those wallets to be able to vote within Project Catalyst. Then you have to use the various wallets on the voting app. So you have to log one on, vote for all the proposals, log that one off, log the next one on, and vote for those proposals again, and so on and so on. So it's a very tedious process. You could be doing this for days, getting all the wallets and votings set up correctly. So this new method, which they found out, which there's a lot of code here. So if you can follow the code and you can write Cardano transactions through the CLI, you can see how they've done it here. So now they've got one stake key, one vote stake key, which is used across all the different wallets, and they can now vote within Catalyst using all the voting power from the combined wallets together and going through that voting process once within the Catalyst space. So it's going to make things a lot more efficient for them and a lot less tedious. So I think this is good for the foundation. I think it's good that they showed how it can be done as well. But having this tied in for other users, such as myself, who also have lots of different multiple wallets on different devices, would make things a lot easier for me to be able to vote within the Cardano space using all of those different wallets. So this is kind of a good thing, and I'll look into this one a little bit more. If I can work out how to make a tutorial around this, I will, and I'll post it up on the other channel. This last one from the foundation is around their activity report in 2024. So this report here details the activity that the foundation has gone through, what they've been up to, the growth of the ecosystem in general. If you haven't checked this one out yet, these guys here, the Coin Republic, did a nice little breakdown of the activity report, so you don't have to go through the long document. But if you do, the links are all here as well. You can go through it and see what the team have been working on. But this here gives you a quick little summary. I will put the links down below so you can have a look at exactly the achievements and everything that the foundation have been working on in 2024. So it was quite a good year for the blockchain, and hopefully next year we see the repeat and even better achievements. Now, I've got some various updates from projects in the space, and I have to say Snek are doing an amazing job. Every day you look at the Snek project and there's more people engaging with the project, there's more holders, there's more people buying. And as the big dump that we had the other day within the space, and we watched ADA's price plummet along with all the other tokens and whatnot, Snek still did exceptionally well. So it's really good to see that a lot more holders are coming into the space here. You can just see the engagement levels overall have been absolutely impressive across Rex Lou's accounts here. So this is really good to see. And if you haven't checked out Snek yet, please do. It's quite a nice meme coin to play around with. So if you are into meme coins and if you're into those really speculative assets, do check it out. Now, the FluidTokens guys are always working hard on things, and this is their new update. This is a big new update. This is should be released in March 2025, but this is their whole new borrowing and lending within their platform as well. So they do borrowing and lending using exotic collateralized assets within the back end, such as NFTs and whatnot. But here, this is the new platform that they're putting together, and this is what everyone's been waiting for. So this is looking really good. I'll have more details about this. I'll see if I can get access to the test net and play around with it and give you guys more of a detailed walkthrough on how this all works and what it all looks like. This one here I thought was really exciting, and Yoroi, they've been coming up with some new and interesting things. And this one here is cashback at your favorite stores directly through the desktop extension. So now you can go shopping at Walmart. It's coming soon, so not quite now, but you can go through, buy things on Walmart, and then earn ADA rewards for doing so. So this is finally a really big partnership with one of a big player within the space. Walmart is absolutely huge, obviously, and having your returns here, your rewards being paid out in ADA is really appealing for the Cardano ecosystem. So this is a nice way for engaging more people within the space, especially people that are shopping online. And I think this cashback program is really cool. Now, what was pointed out to me, if you see this post from Josh here, you can actually get access to cashbacks already within Jero Wallet. And if you have a look at Jero Wallet here, they've got a lot of cashback programs with all these different partners here. And they've got Ace Hardware, Walmart, AliExpress, NordVPN, CNBC, and so on. So there's a lot here that you could potentially get rewards cashbacks for using Jero Wallet. So if you're not using that wallet, do check it out. Some of these rewards and cashbacks might be really appealing for you, including that one there from Walmart. Now, the one back here through Yoroi, I didn't see details in regards to how much of a cashback you may get back, but any little bit of discount, especially with inflation as it is kind of nice. And maybe the price of ADA will go up. So if you're earning 1% back and the price of ADA keeps on going up over time, that's quite a nice cashback. And it's a nice way of rewarding loyal customers. So have a look at that. Links down below for you guys. Now, Iagon have been pushing their Cyclone Qs. This is their own device that they've created so that you can set up your own Iagon node and be a part of their network. You can provide data storage for their network and become an Iagon provider. And I took the leap and ordered one of these Cyclone QS Pros. So it's the model here. This is the top one. It's pretty specced out with a lot of RAM and a lot of potential for hard drive space. And I've got one of these. I didn't get the storage that's included. I wanted to get my own storage because storage is quite cheap here. And I think I can get some better storage for a better price and overall be a little bit cheaper. But this is a really cool device because you can run a Cardano node on this. So you can run it as a relay node. You can run it as a block producer, potentially even. So this gives you the ability to do more than just become a Iagon node provider. You can also use it to be a Cardano node relay or so on. So this I thought was really appealing. It's pretty much, I'm assuming it's going to be a Unix operating system. And you can pretty much run whatever you want on it, but it'll be pre-specced out with everything that you need to be an Iagon node provider. Hopefully this is a plug and play process. I can just put in my hard drives that I need and then put in the Cyclone QS Pro into my router and get it up and running. So hopefully this is all good, but I should expect this at by end of March this year. So within a month's time, month and a half, we should see this on my desk, and I'll do a full breakdown and review of this. So I'm pretty excited about this one here. So I've ordered it. There's the congratulations screen for the order. Got my order email as well, so we'll see this one very soon. By the way, if you guys are watching this, if you can give a like on this tweet post, the links are down below. But I'm not getting much engagement at the moment. I'm pretty sure I'm being shadowed banned on this particular account on X. So the posts here, only 3 likes, 4 with myself. It's a little bit low. It's a little bit low compared to what I'm used to. So if you could give the account a follow and a like, that'd be much appreciated. Now let's have a look at governance and how that's progressing at the moment. Now, for those that don't know, Cardano did go through its final hard fork for governance, and that was the Polymer hard fork just last week. And we are starting to see more and more people delegate to DREPs or become DREPs themselves. We're at 6 billion ADA now delegated to DREPs, and that is a phenomenal growth figure at the moment. So we're seeing more and more people come into the space. You can have a look at the stats here at adastat.net/DREPs, where you can see all the information around who's delegating, what DREPs are out there, the mounted DREPs, and the general statistics in general. So we passed that 6 billion mark, which is absolutely brilliant. So if we continue on this trajectory, we should see a really high level of governance within the space. So that's the goal. That's what we're looking for at the moment. If you haven't registered as a DREP or delegated to a DREP, I've got a lot of tutorials here. I've covered every wallet that I could out there in multiple different ways of becoming a DREP or delegating to a DREP. All the information is there for you guys. So go ahead. Links down below for you guys so you can learn a little bit more about the DREP and governance process within the Cardano ecosystem. If you're looking for a DREP, make sure you go to the gov.tools website, click on DREP directory, and this constantly changes, but this is a random showing list of all the DREPs at the moment. Some have retired, so make sure you use the filters here and look for active ones. And you can sort this by voting power. So you can see which ones are dominating at the moment, who's right at the top. And you can see here, I'm a little bit further down here, not on page 1 anymore. If I scroll down there I am there. So at 56 million voting power at the moment. So thank you everyone that's delegated to my DREP profile. You can see the DREP IDs there. But I'll put that voting power to good use. And if you are wanting to know where I write all my summaries, it's on the learncardano.io website. Now, while I have your attention, I might as well talk about the stake pool as well. Our stake pool ADAOZ, it's been doing phenomenally well at the moment. It's absolutely kicking goals. We haven't missed a block in a really, really long time. We've lost a couple of slot battles, which always happens, but we've actually won lots of them as well. So this is absolutely brilliant. We've got a 1% variable fee, and I think last time I looked, we're at 60 million ADA stake. So there still is room there for more people to delegate. So thank you everyone that's delegating at the moment, and the rewards are still quite nice as well. So if you're looking for somewhere to stake at the moment, do check out our stake pool, ADAOZ. I've got this post here that talks about the last 2 months of rewards and blocks that we've hit at the moment. So you can see here the amount of blocks that we've hit. So this is 56 out of 56. So that's a perfect epoch. And these other ones here where we've just lost out on a slot battle or something here, they're essentially unavoidable. Slot battles happen all the time. But you can see here very high return rates at the moment. Lots of return on stakes over that 3.2% mark, which is the high side of the average at the moment. So really happy with the performance of the stake pool. If you want to see these stats, all the links there in this particular post. This is on YouTube, a YouTube post. So check it out if you want to learn a little bit more about our stake pool. Now, other things that we're up to at the moment, I'm pushing CardanoPress hard at the moment and writing a lot of video tutorials and everything else around that. So if you want to build a Cardano-powered website, an NFT-gated website, or a nice Web3 experience using Cardano and the various wallets out there, you can do so by using this awesome product where you can use CardanoPress Core, the governance features, or ICPO dashboard. And we've got a lot more features coming through at the moment. We're just putting up the EndMaker auction plugin, the roles and stake pool groups, and much more as well. So we've got some pro features coming out that's being released really soon. I'll be pushing this really hard at WordCamp Asia in the Philippines in Manila. So this is coming up in about 2 weeks in Manila. I will be over there. I'll be meeting up with the Cardano community in Manila as well. So if you are in the Philippines, if you are around during this date here from the 20th to the 22nd of February, I will be there. I'll put up more details about this little mini meetup if I can, and we'll catch up. So if you are in the area, put your hands up and let me know that you're there, and I will catch up with you guys. Now, last but not least, I'll leave you guys with this bit of a funny clip here. I just came across this one. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Always good to leave on a light note. So check out this video here. Just click play. It's absolutely hilarious. But if you guys want to support the channel, make sure you give me that thumbs up on your way out. Hit subscribe, click on that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.